This is a core motivation
Mm.
to avoid conflict at all costs, right? It's the I'm like everything's going to be okay if I don't rock the boat. Everything's going to be great if I just keep the peace. And so they're very much like chill, relax people, get along with everyone. Lots of people love them. They fit into almost every friend group. Aaron talks about that when he was in high school, right? Like that he was friends with everyone. Every friend group, like from like the kind of goth kids to the jocks to the band nerds to the what, like, right? He was friends with all
Yeah.
of them. And that's very typical of the nine to kind of have that ability to like go in and out of those kind of groups in an unassuming way. That also is like what makes us really love them, right? Because they are accommodating,
Yep.
calm, easy to talk to.
Yep.
The
Um,
nines, or I'm going to have you do
Virtue?
virtue. Yeah.
Yes. So virtue is right action, is the note that I have. Engaging with life instead of like numbing out.
Yep. That's exactly it. And I would say right action also in the fact that nines tend to be really busy people, but they don't do priority very well. It's hard for them to understand all the time what's the most important thing.
Sure. That makes
Yeah.
sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Time orientation?
Nines orientation to time is the past. And so they kind of think about things through the lens of the past.
Is that what makes them kind of fall asleep to priorities sometimes?
I think it can. I think the numbers that have the orientation to time that is the past, which happens to be all withdrawing numbers, by the way. They they tend to reflect a lot, and that's like the orientation of the past. So it's like this thing happened to me back then, therefore it impacts how I make decisions today. And they can also get really like they can kind of dwell in the past too. Yeah.
Sure.
Every
Sure.
number, like the three numbers that are oriented to the past, it's all just slightly different, but they all have in common that kind of reflective thing and the, stewing in events.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. One.
One, the perfectionist, the reformer.
Yep.
What else do they
Yep.
call them?
The strict
The
perfectionist
strict
sometimes.
perfectionist. Yeah.
So, core motivation to be good, right, have integrity, avoid being wrong, kind of all those things.
Yeah. Avoid being seen as bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, their virtue, for one, is serenity, which would be like accepting imperfection without anger. And
Yeah.
anger is bad
Yeah.
associated with a one. Like in their head, it's like, I cannot show that because it's bad.
Yeah. They avoid anger. It's interesting. And, when I've taught the Enneagram and I have a one in the group that I'm teaching to, and we talk about this triad, right? 891. They're in the action triad or the gut triad or the
Hmm.
anger triad. And ones always have a reaction. Ones nines do too, but they don't talk about it as much. But one's reaction is always like, well, I'm not angry. But I'm not angry. Like underneath all of that, you are, right? And it's
Yep.
resentment. So ones take the anger and they point it inward and it becomes resentment. They point it inward and they don't express it outward because that would be bad or inappropriate or things like that.
I've heard you do sessions multiple times where a one, like that's almost, you can almost count on if there's a one in the room because you will always ask the question, like, what resonates or what doesn't, you can almost bet that the one in the room is gonna go, "Well, anger really doesn't resonate with me."
Okay, sure.
And you're like, "I need you to spend a lot of time in a quiet room and really think. I need you to really unpack this."